Okay, we took your instructions, which were a surprise to us, but that's loading. We said something wrong. Or we could do this again about that press conference. You know, well, part of what we talk about when we keep talking about the misperception everyone has in the country, it's a dangerous misperception we have for our own sake that China is like. But people say crazy things about China. I mean, they say things that are the exact opposite. That it's like authoritarian. They're doing something bad with their currency. That they know what they're doing in China. Like they have autonomy over their economy and everything. Right, and someone mentioned, well, what's going on with our government? Say that or it's like about what how liberal democracy is going over here. I we should just say one thing. We don't have to make this the. We could just talk it out for a second. This issue that Chomsky wrote a book called. It's actually for popular consumption. I mean, he wants it's not like the denser things. It's in bookstores. He wrote a book called Failed States, where he posits the idea that the degree to which like we have these we have no control over our own economy and also no people don't seek out the knowledge necessary to ask their representatives who seem like they're not economically awake anyway. But then when something like this takes place, what we're watching happen with the two political parties, then as he puts it, like right, it's not that it's not a fail. It's not what we think of as a failed state, but being that like it's a very wealthy free country, these are like democratic forms that don't function anymore. It's the form of it, but it's not functioning, and we're out of the decision making process. So it's either that it's sort of it's he as he puts he says, well, it's one of two things. Either it's like some kind of failed state when this kind of thing is happening, or it's you could say that he said with this, the structural features is as though we're living in like Soviet like Russia or something. The way the our two party process is happening would indicate this is we have the formal institutions of democracy, but they're not functioning. That press conference, there's like Jay Carney's the press secretary. That was really almost like surreal and kind of makes that point that it's a. But it was that I think that's what we didn't say in the other one about that. It's not just to what It's not to make a joke. It's not saying funny. It's not. That's what kind of press conference you'd have if this was like if we lived in I don't know North Korea or if it's just a failed state. He was so cautious but it was sort of surreal. We still don't know what exactly they're negotiating. It started about that the standoff over the health bill. Okay, it moved into linking the threat of defaulting on the debt to the budget negotiations. Okay, so that's a point. People are not informed enough to follow that when they're busy with other things. But the press conference that he just gave, of course, it's in the middle of the day. Who knows? You hear like one soundbite in the evening. No, that the way it went. I mean, he couldn't say anything. It's just what's happening is secret, but not because it may be that nothing's happening. But he was so cautious with his words. And what he said, they asked him how it's. What's this? Oh boy, it looks like you. Well, oh right, no, okay. See, that's this. What I'm just. I don't know why you're banging, but right, that's the soundbite. Right, talks have been constructive. Is like the sort of quotation. Like when you get home, when people get home from work, they're gonna hear like apparently talks were constructive. What he actually said is, well, that the president feels this is what he said that he appreciates the constructive nature of the proposals. And he said real slowly, really picking his. He appreciates the constructive nature of the proposals. The reporter asked immediately, "What proposals are you referring to? What proposals? What are you referring to?" Is what she asked. He answered by saying, "Well, I'm not aware of more than one proposal." She said, "I know, but what proposal? To temporarily reopen the government?" And he didn't answer. He said, well, oh no, what he said is, well, the administration believes that what was agreed to is that everyone should keep talking. That's how he answered her. You're sending us to. We're trying our best, but we were surprised you like the other videos. What's going on? But I mean, that's not. I mean, you see, the reporters can't even. It's not they can't get a straight answer out of him because he's not saying anything. It's not. Liberal democracy is not functioning too well. It does. I mean, and this with this kind of thing taking place, we don't have any control then over serious things. I mean, not that the health care isn't serious, but no. Like to the extent that we want to make rational the change as time goes on to fix the. For most people, it's as though we're living in the Dust Bowl. Especially like a narrator or fine, but actually for most of the people, everything collapsed. Tent cities. I mean, okay, but to the extent that we wanted to do rational things that are pretty simple and can be done, if you had a functioning democracy, sovereignty over our economy, a national bank, a return to a parallel currency like the greenback, a credit issued by a national bank, a protection of a new wave of production and jobs, some kind of new economic agreement. I mean, no. None of that can happen when this is how the press can't even get a sort of answer other than this out of the press secretary of what's taking place, and it's sort of surreal. I mean, this is the way one. I mean, it's not clear. It resembles like something between a failed state and like Soviet Russia, something unlike what democracy would be like, or what this is not okay.